Just like that, we go live. I'm just going to mute my phone, make sure that that is not going to be a distraction. Then I'm going to hit the good old refresh button over here to make sure that the audio is coming through. I see the video, but do I hear it? Make sure that and I do. I hear it. All right. So what's up, everybody? Happy whatever today is. Happy Monday. Monday, November 5th. I turned it off and it's still a distraction. Let me turn it over. Monday, November 5th. What's up? What's up? What's up? Good evening. My name is Justin Glover. Obviously, in this Facebook Live, the title is 12 Tips, Tricks, Strategies, and Secrets to Successfully Growing Your Business on the Internet. So my name is Justin. Obviously, in this live, it's going to benefit those of you who want to use the internet to grow a business, whether it's a home-based business or you have a brick and mortar business, you want to use the internet to grow that. It's also going to benefit those of you maybe thinking about starting a home business for yourself. So let's get into it. I don't know how long this is going to go. Hopefully, I will try to be brief. I've been talking for quite some while. I literally just recorded a 90-minute deep dive training, and so I'm going to try to keep this one short. But in the next few minutes, however long it does take, I'm going to share a couple of things. First of all, 12 tips for successfully growing your business on the internet. Again, whether it's an online business or off. And then also, like I said in the comments, don't watch this if you hate money. Let's see who we got here before we get some tips. Give some shout outs. Andrea's in the house. What's up, Andrea? Andy is here. Hey, hey. Linda, good afternoon. Johnny's in the house. Matt Gill, what is up, brother? The man, the myth, the legend. Good to have you here, man. Joe is in the house. Hey, Joe. So let's get into it. All right. So let's see. What am I going to do? So these tips, I had 37 of them all banged out, and I was hoping to make a little nice, concise half-hour training. Can't do that. It went an hour and a half. So this one will not go that long. I'm just going to blaze through 12 tips. I'm going to talk fast. So good news is this will be recorded if you want it. So let's get into it. First tip. Before I get into the tips, I'm just going to give you a big picture, fundamental understanding of the 6 components of what makes up a good, well-rounded online business. All right, I call these ARMS, A-R-M-S. Whenever I go to build a business around something, I build an ARMS, A-R-M-S, automatic recurring money system. That's what I'm building here. And so in my world, the way that I build them, it has 6 components of every ARM. And so number 1, a clearly defined marketing strategy. This is always a 2-pronged approach, a combination of direct response marketing or direct marketing and attraction marketing. All right, the passive stuff and then more so the active stuff. So that's got to be involved in every single successful business model. Component number 2, a front-end lead capture mechanism of some sort, some way to generate people that are interested and get them to raise their hand and actually turn them into a prospect or a lead. The next component, automated email follow-up and sales process. That's kind of where, and I'm going to go into some of these in the core of this content. The front end offer to turn the prospect into a customer. And so you've got the prospect who hasn't bought anything yet. At some point, you got to turn them into a customer. It's probably not the greatest idea to try to sell them the most expensive thing that you got right out of the gate. You'll miss out on creating some new customers. And so the idea is take them from not being a customer, so somebody that doesn't know you, to somebody who knows you and likes you and trusts you enough to become a customer eventually, and then you make your money. All right, then you make the money, because on the back end of every customer, you have 2 types of offers: a residual income offer of some sort, and then some sort of like big ticket back end profit booster, profit maximizer offer of some sort. All right, and so those 6 components: a clearly defined marketing strategy, front-end lead capture mechanism, automated email follow-up and sales process, front-end offer to create the customer, back-end offer to create the residual income, the continuity piece, and then a back-end offer to maximize profits, the big ticket, right? So those are the 6 components. With that context, we can start the tips. Haven't even started the tips yet. You guys get value and I haven't even started the tips? Let me know in the comments. So tip number 1, and so the way that I did this, I just surveyed my list a couple of days ago, and it was broken up. I gave them 10 topics to pick from. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give like one or 2 little tips in a few different categories. And so I'm going to give you some just generic internet marketing / online network marketing / whatever tips. So just kind of some generic stuff. I'm going to give you 1 or 2 there. And then I'm going to get specific on attraction marketing. I'll give you a couple of tips there. I'll give you a tip on lead generation, online lead generation specifically. I've also got a cool little tip for customer acquisition, online prospecting, list building tips, and then I got a content creation tip or 2 for you, as well as a branding tip. So a good little mix of all different kind of categories, just kind of a hodgepodge of tips here. If you like it, guess what? I'm gonna have more. I got more. I always got more. They just keep coming. So let's actually get into it. Internet marketing, online network marketing side of things. All right, so this tip obviously to help make you just a better overall marketer. And I got like 5 of these in the deep dive training, but the one that I'll cover now, you never have to mention, and this is one that I think so many people miss. You never actually have to mention the name of your product, your service, your opportunity, your company if you're in a network marketing company. You never have to mention the names of this stuff in order to make sales. In fact, when you do mention it, you actually decrease your chances of making the sale. I talked about this like 2 nights ago, but whenever we get into the attraction marketing stuff, that's the objection, or not objection, the objective is to get a conversation, to get yourself into a conversation. So you put marketing out to the world that leads to a conversation that leads to a conversion. All right, that's kind of the premise that I'm giving these tips from. And you never have to mention, I'm talking specifically for like people in network marketing. All right, and you're trying to build your business on the internet. Then if you're mentioning the name of the company, then you're giving the prospect, the potential person that would buy from you, giving them everything that they need to reach out to Google instead of reaching out to you. Because guess what they're going to do? If they're wondering, if you do a really good job increasing their curiosity and they're like, ooh, I wonder what their product is that they're selling, and you mention it, or I wonder what the company is that person's building, and you mention it, they have everything that they need to then go to Google and do their research with Google instead of asking you, instead of reaching out and asking you. All right, so if you're an internet marketer and your objective is to get people to reach out to you and ask you about your product and service, then it's probably not a good idea to name the product and service. All right, keep that for the people that reach out to you. You don't have to mention it in your marketing in order to actually make them buy. So attraction marketing. So let's give you let's see, 2 tips for attraction marketing. So the first tip, Jaden, what's up, man? Thank you for the support. Ryan is in the house. What's up, Ryan? Hadn't seen you in a minute. So attraction marketing, this obviously, like it sounds, to help you attract more people to you. So I got 2 for you. Number 1, remember that all, as in 100%, all right? 100% of people, they buy from others, or they sign up from others that they know, like, trust. If they don't know, like, or trust you, or a combination of that, they ain't buying from you. They'll go somewhere that they do know, like, and trust. They'll go to someone that they do know, like, and trust, all right? So that's the first thing to remember. If your objective is to attract more people to you, just remember that people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So what does that mean? It means you should run all. What's the Greek or the Hebrew for all? All, 100%. Run all of your content and all of your marketing through the KLT filter, all right? The know, like, and trust filter. Run all of it. Before you put something out to the world, before you place an ad, before you do a live stream, before you put it out to the world, run it through the know, like, and trust filter. Ask yourself this question: is what I'm about to put out to the world going to get them to like me more? Is it going to get them to know me a little bit better? And is it going to get them to potentially feel like they trust me more? And if you get more than 2 no's, if 2 of those are no, don't put it out. You need at least 2 yeses to the, is this going to get them to know me more, like me better, or trust me more? If you can't answer yes to 2 of those, don't put it out. That's the essence. You want to just be, you want to have all of the marketing that you put out to the world be more effective. Have a 3-part checklist for every piece of marketing you put out. Does it make them know me better? Does it make them like me better? Does it make them trust me more? And if you can't tick 2 of those yes, then it won't be as effective. Add to it until you can make both, and you can make every single piece of content at least tick 2 of those boxes. So that's tip number 1 for attraction marketing. I think that's what, tip number 3 total here. I don't have them numbered actually. The next attraction marketing type tip would be seek conversion or conversation instead of conversion. Now, this doesn't necessarily apply for the direct response paid type of advertising. If you're placing ads on Facebook and going after people, like putting your ads in front of people, you don't always have to go for a conversation. Specifically, those of you that are trying to build a network marketing business online, you probably want to go for a conversation. Also, those of you selling low ticket products online, you probably want to go for, or high ticket, you probably want to go for a conversation. So always seek conversation over conversion. When it comes to attraction marketing, you're not wanting, let's say I'll use this live stream for example. Let's say that I just finished giving the rest of the tips and I say, man, that was amazing content. And you guys are saying, oh, that's amazing stuff. And at the end I say, you know what, I got this product and it sells for this much. And if I tried to sell you on this product right here, right now, who am I going to get to buy it? If I get 1,000 people on here, maybe 5 or 10 of you will buy it. Maybe, if I do a good job. Compare that to if I got 1,000 people on here and I say, I hope you enjoyed those tips. You know what? I got 15 additional tips. If you liked what I just shared, I got 15 more. I'm going to give them to you totally for free. Just reach out to me. If I got 1,000 people and I make that offer for the next step, then, for the conversation, at that point, I'm probably going to have 500 people reach out instead of 5 that are ready to buy it right then. So always seek conversation. Now, when I say seek conversation, do you have to pick up the phone and call all the people that want the extra tips? No, but it can get you, it's a method to get you into a conversation, because then you got what, 500 people reaching out to you. And then imagine what if you said, hey, I'll send those extra tips over your way in just a few minutes as soon as I get back to my computer. But first, do you currently have a source that you buy from? Do you currently have a home-based business if you're trying to recruit somebody? Do you currently have a workout plan if you're trying to sell them a product, a workout or a gym membership, right? Do you currently go to a gym? Those are questions that will get you in a conversation. And guess what? Conversations, that's where the conversions happen. Conversations lead to conversions. So when you're marketing, don't go for the conversion. Go for the conversation. Think, what can I offer them at the end of this piece of valuable content that I'm putting out to the world? What can I offer that would get them to want to reach out and ask me, get somebody to reach out and ask me for this thing? Think that way, because guess what? When they reach out and they ask you for it, then you can do what I talked about the other day, and it's called the CTA delay, and say, okay, you want my extra tips? No problem. I'll send them to you in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, in the meantime, you can get in a conversation. You can ask them a question. Do you already have a gym that you go to? Do you already have a workout plan? Do you already have a meal plan? Do you already have shampoo that you love? Whatever the product is that you're selling. All right, so seek conversation over conversion. All right, that's just 2 in the topic of attraction marketing. I think in the deep dive training that I will give all of you guys, if you want it, the only thing you got to stick to the end in order to find out how to get it from me. It's absolutely free. It's 90 minutes worth of this kind of stuff. So if you're vibing on this, if you're digging it, then I got a whole lot more. I literally just recorded it. It just uploaded over here a few minutes ago. And so actually, look, I'll show you. So it's right here. All right, it just uploaded. It is an hour and 36 minutes long, deep dive training. In this, I actually have, I think, 4 or 5 other tips just around the topic of attraction marketing. So I just gave you 2. Let's move on to lead generation. Let's talk a little bit about lead generation, because I know that you probably want to get some leads generated online. And so let's talk about that. First, I guess the most important tip that I could share in the online lead generation process would be understand the lead generation process. Understand the lead getting process. It's pretty simple, okay? It's 3 steps. Step 1, define what type of leads you want to attract. If you don't define that, you're going to get all kinds of crap. Define who you want to attract as a lead. Step 2, go where those people hang out. Where do they hang out online? What groups are they in? What pages are they reading? Who are they friending? Who are they following? What videos are they watching? Go where they're hanging out. Step 3, offer them something that you know they won't be able to exist, and offer it to them for free in exchange for an email, or in exchange for a addition to a group, or whatever, right? Whatever your list building mechanism is. Define who you want, go where they hang out, and then offer them something that you know they can't resist. That's the lead generation process. You get that, you can't really mess lead generation up. All right, so let's move on. Customer acquisition tips. All right, so how do you after you generate the lead, how do you actually get them to buy something from you? How do you convert them into a customer? The one tip that I'll share here is on follow-up, because the majority of your sales will come from follow-up, right? There's so it's the follow-up forever plan, right? There's a funny little saying in marketing that marketers throw around sometimes: follow up with your prospects until they buy or die. And that's kind of the way it is. That's kind of the truth. For me, I will continue to follow up with people if they don't do one of 2 things. So the only 3 things, I guess. There's 3 things that will get me to stop following up with somebody. Only 3. If I don't see one of these 3 things, I'm going to continue to follow up indefinitely, whether it's following up via email, whether it's just having them on another list and I'm recruiting them for a business, or whatever. Indefinite follow-up unless one of these 3 things happen. Thing number 1, they ask me / tell me, I don't want you to follow up with me anymore. I'm no longer interested. Somebody tells me that, okay, fine. I'm not going to bug you. You're out. No big deal. There's lots of other people that want to know. Thing number 2 that will get me to stop following up: if they're a dick. Somebody's a jerk, or expresses entitlement, or is just flat out rude, an asshole. They don't get the privilege of buying my stuff. They don't get the privilege of joining me in business. So I will stop following up. I will fire them. All right. I fired plenty of customers. If somebody's a jerk, I will fire them. So that's thing number 2. Thing number 3 that will get me to stop following up is if I read their obituary in the paper. That's it. Those 3 things. If they ask or tell me to stop because they're no longer interested, if they're a dick, or if they die. That's it. Otherwise, I'm following up. And if you just keep that mentality, if you just keep showing up, keep following up, keep sending them emails, eventually they're going to buy. Or maybe not, but who cares? If you stop communicating with them, I guarantee they won't buy. So there's your customer acquisition tip around follow-up. Let's talk about online prospecting, all right? The act of prospecting people. Going out. So this is big for network marketers, but it's not only for network marketers. If you have any kind of product, or if you own a gym or a music store or anything, any place where you provide a service, then prospecting is likely part of your marketing plan. What is prospecting? I'm talking about finding people, the act of finding people that might be interested in what it is that you offer, your product, your service, your opportunity, whatever that is. All right. So that's the act of prospect. You got marketing. Marketing is when you're putting stuff out there. right? And in hopes that your ideal prospect finds it and comes to you. So marketing is passive. Prospecting is more active. Prospecting is you going after it. All right, you seeing somebody that comments, man, I'm feeling stuck lately, and you're the person, you have a product that you sell that gets people unstuck, you approaching them and saying, hey, here's a free training. I think it might help you get unstuck. And that free training leads to the thing. If you see somebody talking about, I'm feeling fat lately, I wish I had a really good gym to go to, and you own a gym, guess what? Prospecting is you going out and making it known to them that you have a solution for their problem. That's prospecting. All right, so just to be clear. So what's my number one tip when it comes to prospecting? Because prospecting can hurt sometimes, man. If you're going out there and you're like being vulnerable and trying to sell, like asking somebody if they're open, sometimes it can hurt because people can be fucking rude. It's just the way it is. People can be rude. And the number one fear of man is to be judged, to be shamed. Nobody wants that, especially from people that we love, people that are close to us. And so it's the reason so many people bounce and go MIA in businesses like network marketing, because the first thing they do is go to people that they love and they prospect them the wrong way that causes them to get rejection and shame and judgment. And it's the most painful thing in the world. It's the one thing that they want to avoid. And they get hit in the face with it immediately. And so they leave, they quit. So the number one tip I can give you when it comes to prospecting is very simply this. Do not be attached to the outcome. You can't. You just can't be attached to the outcome. If you have even 0.001% attachment to the outcome, whether or not they say yes or no, then you're not going to make it. It's not going to work. You got to be fully detached from the outcome. And so this is especially true for those of you that are in network marketing and you're prospecting. You just joined a business and you're like, they tell you go chat with your friends, go call your family, go call your best friend, and you go to them. So my suggestion would be, don't go to them until you are 100% detached from the outcome, because them telling you no, it's going to hurt more than a complete stranger telling you no. How do you get to the point where you're 100% detached from the outcome, where you literally don't give a shit if they say yes or no? Hey, I got a new business I'm in. Are you interested in learning about it? No. Okay, no big deal. Until you get there, 100% detached from it, don't prospect people that are close to you. Don't prospect warm market friends, family, people that you know, because any judgment, any rejection that comes from them, it's going to hurt way more. So how do you get to the point where you can get there? You just prospect more people and don't give a shit about if they say yes or no. There's always more people. So go prospect strangers, get told no a bunch of times, get to the point where you realize, I don't care if people join. And then you can go ask your friends and family. That's a better approach, in my opinion. So what are your thoughts on that? Let me know in comments. List building. Let's talk about list building. So give you a list building tip that will help you not only grow, but keep your audience. It's important. So like email marketing, there are people say email marketing, don't build an email list. It's dead. Email marketing is dead. Bullshit. If you're not building an email list, you're not generating leads. I don't care what kind of business you own, what kind of product you sell. If you're not generating leads onto an email list of your own, then you're number one, leaving a lot of money on the table, but you're number two, risking losing all of your audience and database forever. Because if your list is in your Facebook group, you say, oh, I got a big Facebook group, that's where I keep everything, or I got a big YouTube following, and if I want to communicate with that audience, all I got to do is upload a YouTube video. Or if you got a big Twitter follow, if your lists are in other places, guess what? You don't own those places. You don't own the YouTube videos. You don't own the Facebook videos. The groups, Facebook group can get shut down in a heartbeat. YouTube channel can get shut down in a heartbeat. You have to secure your long-term future by putting that person or inviting that person to join your email list. Now, does everybody read email as much as they look at their Facebook stuff? Maybe not. You'll probably get better delivery with a Facebook messenger list, right? You probably get higher open rates in those type of messages. But guess what? That can go away. So don't only build there. Also, anywhere you build, if it's easier, it's oftentimes easier to get somebody to join a group than it is to join an email list, right? Give their name and email. It's oftentimes easier to get somebody to join, to join something other than an email list. But when they do, it's important that you remember, okay, now that they're here, I can communicate with them, but always be thinking in terms that this could go away. I need to put them on my email list. So always funnel people back to your email list. That is your long-term secure asset that nobody can take away from you. Nobody can take away your email list. You own that, and that has been my primary source of income, my email list, for years. Primarily, all I did if I need to make some money, just send an email. It's like a little ATM machine. Type up an email. Hey, found a new product you should buy. Go buy it. Boom, they buy it. I get money. That, when you have a good relationship, now every email list is not that way, and I don't suggest treating your email list like an ATM machine because they're humans. But when you have a good rapport and a relationship with an email list, then it can serve as that type of benefit for you. So that's some tips on list building. I think I got 4 more tips. If you like that one, I think I got 4 more just on the topic of list building in this deep dive training. So I'll tell you how to get that here in just a moment. But first, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 tips, 4 more tips, maybe 5. So let's get into it. Content creation. Let's talk about content creation. Content creation is one of the things that's very, very important when it comes to attracting people to you on the internet. All right, because content is kind of what the internet's made up of. Videos, articles, blogs, websites, it's all content. And so the way people buy stuff on the internet is they, usually consume some content of some sort, and then from there, that content has a call to action and says, hey, if you like this, click here, you'll love this product that I sell. And then they go to that page, and then there's some content and a sales message on that page, and they buy, right? So that's one flow of the way money is exchanged. Now, when it comes to, well, content creation, I'll leave that one for the other one. So I got 3 tips for content creation. First tip, build a 12-month calendar, a publishing calendar. Now, this is more so important for people that are new in content creation. Why plan so far out? Because it's, number one, it's not that hard to do. It takes just a little bit of time and effort. And number 2, once it's done, your life's going to be 1,000 times easier in terms of creative output. You'll free so much mental bandwidth up in your mind if you know exactly what you have to talk about every day. And it's just all planned out and it's there. You can also increase your effectiveness of it because you can tease tomorrow and next week's content in today's broadcast, right? If you know ahead of time, you can do a lot more stuff. It makes your life so much easier. So tip number 1, when it comes to content creation, don't just say, I'm going to go live every day. All right. Or I'm going to go live once a week. Okay. Both of those are fine. But what are you going to talk about this week? What's on the agenda for next week? How about the week after that? Plan it out. Plan it out. All right. Now I'm going to show you how I do it after this tip first. This is kind of the second tip. And I've talked about this. My buddy Ray Higdon is where this comes from. ILT. ILT, when it comes to content, because one of the biggest things with content is, what do I talk about? How do I come up with stuff to say? And ILT, what does that stand for? Invest, learn, teach. Invest a little bit of time, possibly a little bit of money, to learn something, then go teach it. That's how you come up with content. I listen to audiobooks on Audible. As I'm listening to them, and I hear them say something that would make a good piece of content, I'm like, ooh, I push the little bookmark button. I click the button that says add a note, and I say blah, 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 whatever the topic is. And then I go back to listening to my book. And so now what that means for me is if I got some content to create, I can open any of my books, go to bookmarks, scroll through, and I got title after title after title after title of potential topics that I can talk about and just pull from things that I learned from the book that I want to teach. All right, so ILT can change your world, and the more content, the more prolific we are at putting out content, the more of an impact we're going to make in the world. So if you're here to make an impact, you should strive to be prolific content providers. And the way that you do that, one of the easiest way, I mean, you could sit down and come up with it all on your own. That seems painful though. ILT, invest some time or money to learn something and then go teach it. So that's the process. Now, I want to share one of the confusing things that I get a lot about content creation is, well, it's not a confusing thing. It's a little hack, I guess, that makes it easier for you to consistently come up with stuff to write about. And so I do what I call, and it also helps with the long-term marketing calendar. If you're thinking you're going to put one of those together, here's what I would do. Number one, do what I call a blog storm. All right. Now, a blog storm for me, it doesn't mean you have to be putting it on a blog or even own a blog. I just call it blog storm because when I think I'm creating something for a blog, I'm creating a title, a sexy, attractive, attraction marketing, benefit-driven title. That's going to be the title of my blog post. Should also be the title of videos or live streams or whatever, right? And so what I do is I'm not looking for a brainstorm of topics. I'm looking for a brainstorm of titles, okay? So a title would be 12 tips, tricks, and strategies to successfully grow your business on the internet. It's the title of this video. 17 weight loss secrets that I learned from the guru on a mountain, whatever, right? That's a title. And so brainstorm a list of titles. And so what I do is I take myself a little kitchen timer, set like a 30-minute section, and for 30 minutes, I open up a blank notepad and I just write titles, as many as I can think of, about all kinds of potential topics. And I don't filter. I don't care if they're bad. I don't wordsmith them. I'm just brainstorming a list of titles, okay? So you want to get to like 25 titles and then expand that out to 50 and then even to 100. Get a lot of titles for yourself. And again, 30-minute brainstorm, you can have 100 titles. It's not, once they start coming out, you just bang them out. They flow. Step two, or part two of this, is I batch out those titles. All right, so you prep them. And so what I do then is I say, okay, I got 100 titles listed out on this Google document. And so now I'm going to go into a new Google document. And I'm going to take 10 of those titles that I like. And maybe this is for the next, or 14 titles. And this is for the next 2 weeks. And I bring them over and I put them in their own document. And then and I take one by one each title and I map like 4 benefits or 4 bullet points for each title. The way that I do it is I ask these questions: what, why, how, what if? And so let's say I have a title, 3, or the number one thing, most important thing for generating leads online. That's my title, okay, pretend. So then I need to bullet point it out, all right? So I need to develop it, okay? And so first question I want to ask, what? What is this? How to generate leads. That's what this is. I'm going to show you generate leads. Why? Because without leads, you don't have a business. You don't make money. That's why. How? Here's how you do it. Okay? YouTube videos with backlinks, whatever. And then what if? What if you don't learn this? What if you don't generate any leads? Okay? So what, why, how, what if? That framework you can use to teach on any subject. Okay? And so that's what I ask whenever I'm developing them. And so the idea here with this little process is you don't want to sit down. So the worst thing in the world is like, fuck, I got to go live in an hour, and I have no idea, or it's time for me to go live, or it's time for me to publish a video, or it's time for me to write an article, and you're staring at a blank piece of paper, a blank document, because you don't know what am I going to talk about. How many of you have done that before? Have you ever been, like I have, and it sucks. I hate that. It's like, man, my life could be so much better, but I'm sitting here thinking about this title and what I'm going to create. It's just miserable to me. I don't like doing that. I batch it. I do the work up front because it's easy, way easier to brainstorm like 100 titles or 15 or 20 at a time, get them built up, and then you go batch process and you can bang out like 4 bullet points for 10 or 15 or 20 titles at a time. And then all of a sudden you got 20 potential posts that have the exact title and the 4 main bullet points outlined and developed and ready to go. And so then you can sit down and you don't have to write anything. You can just, you say, okay, it's time to go live. Let me pick one of these that I've got developed. Boom, let's go. Okay, it's time to write an article, time to write an email. Let me pick one of these I got developed. Boom, let's go. And it's all there. You pick up and it just goes. Like you read the title, you read the 4 bullet, okay, perfect. And you know exactly what to say. So that's the tip that I would give when it comes to content creation. I guess those are 3 tips. Segment the different steps, and then invest, learn, teach, and then create a 12-month calendar. All right. I'm going to give you a branding tip, one branding tip, and then the biggest tip of all that I have for you. It's a bonus tip, so I'm going to tease you a little bit. But first, let me give you this branding tip. So the branding tip is super simple, and it really, this is only specific for those of you who are trying to build a network marketing business, or any business where you're growing a team. Not necessarily the case if you're like a doctor and trying to brand yourself, or you know, something that we're trying to brand yourself. All right. So if you're in network marketing and you're trying to create a brand, remember, branding yourself as an expert or an authority, that's not duplicatable. Because when people see that you're the expert or you're the authority and they see your lovely brand, they might say, oh, what a lovely brand, but I can't do that. I'm not an expert. I'm not an authority. And you don't want them saying that. So be careful at how you actually brand yourself. Because if you brand yourself as the expert, it's not duplicatable. All right. So that is what's not a totally different story. If you're a doctor, it probably is good to, you know, brand yourself as the expert. You don't want to be the non-expert doctor. Promise you that. I'm not coming to you. All right. So the biggest tip that I can give you, here's the biggest tip that I can give you. Are you guys ready for the biggest tip? There's only a couple of you here, but maybe you can say, well, there's more than a couple. Maybe you can, let's get some confirmation that you want this. Otherwise, I'll just leave it out. I'll leave it out. Would you guys like it? Would you like me to relay this last tip to you? It's the most important one. It beats all of them, trumps everything that I've just given you. You guys don't want it? That's fine. One of you, there's not many on here, but one of you is going to have to leave a comment. All right. Andrew says, let's go. So here's the biggest tip I can give you. Do not try to create wealth outside of the wealth cycle. There's this thing called the wealth cycle. You must understand it, because all, as in 100%, all wealth is created by following this wealth cycle. You've got to understand it and you've got to work with it. You work against it, you're not going to create wealth. It's impossible. It is impossible to create wealth any other way. Now, you might be saying, what is the wealth cycle? It's a great freaking question. I'm not going to tell you here. But this was a bonus tip. I've already given you 12. I promised you 12. I gave you 12. This bonus one is know that there's a wealth cycle, and know that you can't create wealth outside of it. Okay, so let me just, I'll unpack it a little bit. A lot of you, some of the tips you just heard, or the tactics, or the things that you just heard, you're like, some of you might have heard ones that I can implement that right now, and you get excited about it because it's the thing that happens right before the money. If I go do this, I can get the money, right? Here's the problem with that. Implementing tactics before you have a clear strategy, it won't work. Defining a strategy before you have a clear vision of where you want to go, it won't work. And so that's as much as I'm going to share with you as far as the wealth cycle goes. I just gave you the components. There's 3 components of the wealth cycle. I just told you all of them. But I do have a bonus training that I go a lot deeper on that. I explain it in the deep dive. So let's wrap this thing up. I've given you 12 tips to successfully grow your business on the internet. Hopefully you found some of them helpful, at least one. If you did, let me know. Let me know if you got some value. Here's the deal. I have 25 more of these things, literally 90 minutes more worth of this stuff. I just recorded it. 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 28 seconds is exactly how long the video is. I just finished recording it. Nobody's seen it. Not one single person on the planet has seen it yet other than me. I'm putting it on a page as soon as I get done with this. If you want it, all you got to do is ask. I cover some of these that I talked about, plus a lot more. Same topics, same categories. So I give you more branding stuff, more lead gen stuff, more list building stuff, more attraction marketing stuff. And so just more of all of this stuff, all right? And so I've got 25 more of these things that I just recorded. I did this for people on our email list. And so if you want that training for free, all you got to do is just reach out to me via PM, or you can comment secrets, all caps, the word secrets, here on this thread in the comments, and I'll either myself or somebody on the team will send them over to you. But let me just be 100% transparent. This training, it's only for people on my email list. So by reaching out and saying, hey, send me the training, I am not going to send you directly to the training. I'm going to ask for your email address first. So I'm just being 100% transparent. I assure you, just so we don't waste any time, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you wasting my time. So I will ask you for your email address. And I'm not going to ask you. I'm going to say, here's the link. And you're going to be asked on the page, enter your email address to see this free training. And so if you want it, I'll give it to you. It doesn't cost anything. I got 25 more tips. So there's 37 tips total that you're going to get in this 90-minute video. I go deep. It's a deep dive, full all the topics that my list told me that they want me to train about. I broke all the topics down and I just went off on all of them. And so my integrity is important to me. I told them that it was only for people on my email list. So if you do want this additional training, you will have to join my email list. It doesn't cost any money. It's all free. And so you'll be asked to join in exchange for the rest of the tips if you want them. If you don't want them, no big deal. I just gave you some really good stuff here. You maybe just use these. But if you did get some value in these first few tips, I promise you're going to be blown away in the rest of them. What's behind the curtain. So just reach out to me. Tell me that you want the remaining 25 tips or secrets, and we'll send them over via PM. If you have team members or coworkers or staff that you think might also benefit from these first 12 secrets that I shared or tips, feel free to tag them up, let them know. But leave a comment, like give them a comment too. Don't just tag them blind. Nobody likes that. And so let them know. Say, hey, there's some good stuff. I think, I know you own a business. I think you might get some value from this. And so speaking of value, if you did get some value from it, let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the heart button, leave a comment, wave, whatever. And that's it. There you go. That is it. I got some secrets on here. So I will reach out to you guys and get you the rest of them very, very soon. I got to upload it to the page first. It's literally still sitting here in my Wistia account. So I'll have it on a page in the next hour. And so those of you that are requesting the rest of those tips, then I'll get them over to you very soon. So tune in tomorrow as I talk about who the hell knows what. I haven't planned it out. I have no idea what I'm talking about tomorrow, but I will be live at some point. So if you have any specific requests for me that you'd like to talk about, any questions, feel free to reach out. And until then, have an amazing night. Talk to you soon.